What's up guys, Aaron back here at the park. It's been over 2 weeks since the Rachel Carson 36-mile trail challenge, which consisted of Operation Run But Do Not Run coming to a head. So that was a 3-month training cycle I did where I did not run one step. And before that was a 4-month training cycle of strength only. So that provided me with 7 months of zero running. And I still towed the start line. I placed 8th. It didn't go as well as I had planned. I will link the video down below if you're interested in seeing that race video. It's not only my experience with the race, but also all the other top runners, so it's pretty cool to watch. I also did a race report of all the things that worked and didn't work, so I'm not going to waste any time in this video talking about that. So what are we going to talk about in this video? We're going to talk about going forward. What are my next goals? Where do I plan on taking not only this YouTube channel, but my fitness journey? And for me, I'm someone that suffers from severe depression. I'm someone that suffers from severe depression if I do not have big goals to trump that depression. I need a goal bigger than the current state of my depression, my anxiety, and my fear if I want to stay on top of it. So for me, there is no time for rest. There is no time for a break. And I don't mean that sleep is my number one. Sleep, nutrition, movement. Remember that. That's not what I'm talking about, rest. I'm talking about that mental break where you say, now I can be comfortable. I did the hard. No, every day for me is the hard stuff. If it's not physical, if my body needs a break, if my body needs rest, I'll challenge myself mentally. And that's what this is going to be. This video is going to be describing the next 3-month commitment I'm going to make. So what is October 3rd? October 3rd actually happens to be the same day as the Black Forest Ultra 100K, which is actually a 64-mile race that I decided to sign up for. Not only did I decide to sign up for it, but I plan on winning. Whoa, okay. But Aaron, you didn't do very good at your last race. Well, I didn't run. This is going to be very run specific, accompanied with 8 specific things I will be doing every day, no exceptions. No exceptions, none, okay? What are those 8 things? Well, first, let me talk to you about the Black Forest Ultra, because that's my big goal. That's gonna be my A race. It's like I said, it's a 64-mile race that starts at midnight. It has no crew, no pacers, no spectators, just aid stations. So that's going to be a long time that I'm going to be running at night alone, okay? And if you've ever run at night, you know, your mind starts to play a little bit of tricks on you. So I'll make sure I do a lot of practice. It's also in the middle of Pennsylvania's wilderness, okay? So your mind will definitely play tricks on you, I promise that. So that is something I'll have to prepare for. So let's get back to those 8 things now that we know my big goal, which is the Black Forest Ultra 100K 64-miler. What will I be committing myself to every day without exception? Number 1, 4 to 6 a.m. wake up, okay? Why the 4 to 6 a.m. wake up? So for me, I train clients usually starting around 7 or 8 in the morning. Okay, so I'm gonna need time to do number 2. What is number 2? Number 2 is the Wim Hof method. The Wim Hof method consists of 3 things: cold exposure, meditation, and breath work. This I will be doing first thing every morning. I'm going to buy, and I'm gonna make a separate video, but I'm buying a deep freezer that I'm going to fill with water and keep right above freezing. This is where I'll be taking my ice baths, my cold exposure every single morning. That's gonna suck, but that's where I'm gonna grow. Okay, I'm going to force myself into situations that are uncomfortable, from slightly to extremely uncomfortable, to force myself to grow in return. So I'll follow that at cold exposure with breath work. 3 rounds. So you know what? I'll put a link down below. I'm not Wim Hof. He's way better at describing it than me. So if you're interested in checking that out, I highly recommend it. I've been practicing his method off and on for the last 3 years, definitely the cold exposure, and it's changed my life, okay? So I know that committing myself to it for 3 months without exception will have an impact somehow, some way, okay? So let's get into number 3. Number 3 is train my clients. So for me, that's very important. It's a big part of my life at this point. It's very rewarding for me intrinsically. I'm very passionate about it. So I want to make sure I take it serious so they can get the best results. Number 4, train myself. So that's going to be 1 to 3 hours of hard training, depending on the day. And I'm hoping to make a lot, to get better and more consistent about putting these videos out, especially of my training. So I'm not going to talk much about my training right now. Just know it's going to be a pivotal part of these next 3 months. So what is number 5? Number 5 is self-education. For 1 hour a day, I have to do something to further my knowledge in the strength and conditioning world, reading articles online, studies, meta-analysis, books, whatever the case may be, podcasts, that is also on there. 1 hour every day. Number 6 will consist of editing YouTube videos and writing programs for the following day for my clients. This will take 1 to 4 hours, totally depending. Probably more than, at least probably 2 to 4 hours. Totally fine, it's my job, it's my work. This will also help aid in the mental fortitude aspect of doing the things you don't like to do. I'm a big mover, I like being outside, doing things with my body, that's my form of expression. I do not like being in the house, I do not like doing paperwork, I do not like editing, I do not like a lot of these things. Totally okay, because why? When we force ourselves to do the things we don't like that are gonna make us better in the future, we grow. So what's number 7? Number 7 is journaling, okay? Someone told me this, and it made a lot of sense, and I believe it. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but I think it is all successful people, or at least 99% of successful people, journal. And I don't mean just writing accounts of your day, but taking an honest inventory, taking stock of the things you did well, the things you didn't match up to, right? The things you did well, the things you fell short on, right? And then you write another separate, what could I have done better? So when we do this every day, when you sit down and write down the same thing every day, what you could have done better, where you fell short, let me tell you what the feeling's like when you write that same thing down the next day, and the next day, and the next day. It's horrible, because who wants to say every single day they're falling short on the exact same thing without changing, right? But until it's on paper, it's not real, it's just a thought in our head. And if you look around, people make the same mistakes over and over and over again. So putting them on paper gives you a different point of view. It makes it real. So this will be every night before bed, something I will develop and practice. All right, and what's the last one? The last one is very important, very important. Without exception, I must be in bed by 10 p.m. Whether I'm tired or not, whatever the case may be, whether I'm out, I gotta make sure I'm home and in bed by 10, without exception. Well, very few exceptions. Unless there's an emergency involving someone other than myself that needs my attention, I'll be in bed by 10. So I'm hoping these 8 things set me up for extreme chance of success, not just in the race, but in life. And I hope you guys stay tuned, subscribe, and follow along with this journey, because I'm excited. I'm excited to share it with you and show you the process, because the process is where it's at, right? It's not about the destination, it's about the process and learning and growing in the moment. Appreciate y'all, appreciate y'all, appreciate y'all. Thumbs up, subscribe, and as always, keep on. Holy smokes. Hopefully I don't drop the camera. I know you guys see that thing.